Thanks for showing up, everybody. Bob, Simplex-IT, blah, blah, blah. This is our fourth in our series of monthly webinars where we're really going to try to focus on stuff that most of our clients already have but may not know it. Because one of the things we realized when we were looking at 23 to 24 was that we had a lot of things that we were offering to our clients, but they wouldn't use it. And one of one of our challenges is we're not pushy. And we need to work on that because we need to get more aggressive in terms of, hey, you have this will help you. Let's see what we can do. And one of those is cybersecurity training. And this is one of those where what we're going to do is I'm not going to do too much. This PowerPoint is very much about, this is so important. This is why you should do it. This is a sales pitch presentation. We're not going to do that. You already, if you're on either Model 23 or Model 24, you already have this. This is part of the agreement. So it's just a question of using it. And that's been the biggest challenge we've had. We had another vendor product, Breach Secure Now, that we could not get clients to use. And it was really, really tough. Some of that's on us. We need to get better in terms of partnering with folks and sharing what the value is. But we've kind of bypassed this, and I'll explain why. So going through this, again, the old cybersecurity practices, one of the biggest challenges we have is where clients think that cybersecurity is the IT department or the IT provider like us. That's all they have to do. And you can't just abdicate. You've got to pay attention to it and all of that. And so one of the biggest challenges, people, should they click on something? Should they change credentials? Should they do the things that they're being asked to do? And that's why we're doing the training, because it gets down to that whole, it doesn't matter how secure the lock on your door is if someone props the door open or if someone holds it open for somebody who's coming in for nefarious. And as you can see, this person A looks very, very happy, but nobody wants to sit next to her. Judge as you will. This is the key. If there's actually two slides to pay attention to. This is one of the most important ones, is that right now, 80% to 90%, depending on whose numbers you look at, when we talk about all the breaches, overwhelming majority of the breaches is someone got tricked into thinking that it was okay. All right. And we as IT geeks can only do so much. And you get into that whole situation where, we have to spend at least as much resources training our people collectively. We train ourselves here. We have to spend at least as much time and effort training our people as we do using technology to try to protect it, because both only go so far. So what the phishing used to look like, it was just, and again, phishing is trying to get you to do something. Okay. Yay. This is really neat. And I will make sure to send this out to you so you get this. This is a legit QR code. You should always be careful of when somebody shows you a QR code, make sure you trust it, because all it is a link, and links sometimes are untrustworthy. But what this will do is this will ask you to put in a name and an email address. You can put in a fake one. It doesn't matter. But it'll then show you about 8 or so different types of emails, and it just asks you whether or not it's a fake. And I did not get 100% right. Okay? Because the bad guys are getting really, really good. And this thing will go through, it'll show you, like I said, 8 examples, and it'll also tell you this is what you should have caught. All right, so this is a real neat QR code. I'll make sure when we do the follow-up email to everybody, we'll send this out, so on and so forth. It's a neat little test. And I'm not going to go too far into this, but there's different types of phishing now. And the phishing is basically just a bad guy's attempt to get folks to open the door, to hold the door open for them, however we're doing it. And phishing's the most common. It's the lazy. Those are just the emails that are going out. My favorite one was one that came out soon after, you remember the Chinese balloon that was going over the United States for that week? Everybody was following it. I remember seeing an email from somebody who basically said, hey, this is the Homeland Security Department. We believe that this balloon was actually snooping in on mobile device traffic, and many accounts were hacked, including, we believe, yours. Please click here to verify that your credentials have not changed. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because the bad guys saw this thing was going on. They knew people were going to respond to it. No, I did not. So spear phishing is targeted. So if someone gets an email from somebody, so let's say, for example, Patty, who's the COO here, someone gets Patty's name, and they find somebody else's email address, and they find out that our email addresses are first name at Simplex-IT. Well, now they know anybody's. When they get the name of any employee here, they know their email address. So they can send specifically targeted at that person. And also, if that person posts stuff on Facebook, so on and so forth, they can get. Someone posts the fact that they're going on vacation, they can send an email purporting to be from that person to somebody else. So spear phishing, it's more expensive for the bad guys to do it, but it also looks more convincing. And it's starting to happen now. It's happening on text and SMS as well. Again, the whole gift card. And then, as I said, QR codes. A lot of people think that because it's a QR code, those are somehow more fancy or more secure. And I know people who have seen where people will say, hey, leave flyers out with a QR code purporting to be from a vendor nearby. No, it isn't. So the bad guys are getting more clever. And here's one of the key things, and this is one of the things that we like about our new partner, Fin, is the security awareness training used to be a really high hurdle from the standpoint of it was an hour. It doesn't seem to be a high hurdle, but to a lot of folks, it's like an hour and a half of training. It's a long day. It's a whatever. You post but it's one and done. What we're doing it now is, and this is their words, engaging and fun, interactive, but it's short. What we've done now is partner with Fin so that the training that we're giving is digestible. It's relatively short, it's effective, it gets to the point. And also, when we talk about we're going to be also attacking, we're going to be sending simulated attacks. And these are realistic. So this is one where, hey, there's a scheduled meeting coming up, a meeting reminder, blah, blah, blah. And also it's going to use name brands. It's going to be targeted, basically just like the bad guys. And this is one of the things that is important to know. One of the things we also do is we don't punish people if they fall for the simulated attack. What happens is if they fall for it, and to be clear, we have had people here at Simplex-IT fall for these, okay? It will take them to a learning moment. And the learning moment essentially will just tell them, hey, this is a test, and let's review. So let's show what you should have looked for. And to be clear, we do protect as much as we can. If someone does fall for something, we do protect as much as we can, but we can't protect against everything. But the learning moments will teach people. But the person has to actually engage in the learning moment. So the learning moment will basically say, hey, here's what you can do next time. You click through it, and as you can see in this particular case, there's like 4 little screens. You click through it, and when we talk about grading, the grading will show that yes, you clicked on something, but yes, you completed the follow-up training to it. And the follow-up training is literally a minute. So how do we do it? Really, what we do is we're setting up with all of our clients moving forward, is we set up with a default campaign, which is essentially every month you're going to get an email like this. And let me show you the one I just got yesterday, I think. So this is actually the email that I got. The picture. Cybersecurity training assignment. I've been added. So this is a legitimate notification that there's a training. And what happens is every time a new employee is added to your company, and the new employee defined as in they've been added to Microsoft 365, they're automatically enrolled. There's nothing else you got to do. This is one of the things we like better than the earlier product is all of your employees are enrolled in this. And by default, we create a monthly training program. So every month, a new email like this, a new training assignment is going to go out for all employees. So there's nothing you have to do. There's nothing we have to do. And also every month we do simulated phishing attacks. There's nothing we have to do. There's no planning. There's no training. If you want to come up with different campaigns, let's say, for example, you have some employees who are going to be working on finance information or the like, or they're dealing with a lot of important knowledge. You want them to have more rigorous training. We can create a campaign for them and a campaign for everybody else, or a combination thereof. We've got that flexibility, but out of the gate, we want to make sure that something's in place. Okay. And then when you click on the link, this is what end users see. Is basically just something very simple. Here's the course. If I click on it, it'll start. This is what's assigned to me. These are the ones I've completed. And these are all of them. It really is this simple. So all a person has to do is click here, and then they can click on take the course. The course will take 5-10 minutes. And as the administrator for the organization, you'll be able to see whether or not people have taken the course. So your employees are automatically enrolled. By default, we've given you a training program. By default, every month all of your employees are going to go through a simulated attack, and they're going to go through a training exercise. And we can customize either of those schedules or training if you need it, but we don't have to. That's entirely up to you. Any questions on this so far? Okay. So how do we use it? Well, we talked last month about bigger brains. One of the things in bigger brains that we've added has been what we call how do I's. So we've created in bigger brains, brainstationlms.com, how do I videos. And right now, these are the ones that we've added. These are videos that Simplex-IT has created on particular topics. And you'll notice that we've got one on cybersecurity training management and cybersecurity training end user intro. These are both available to all employees, and it'll kind of walk you through each, both from a management standpoint, which this is more or less the management side of things. It'll walk you through, and you don't have to do much if you're happy with the way things are configured. The only real issue you've got is how active do you want to follow up with the clients, with the employees who are falling for the scams, who are falling for the simulated attacks. And that's something where we absolutely would love to have a conversation with you. We can make suggestions, but it really is a personnel issue or a personnel challenge at that point. By default, we send every month. You will get an update, which will give you a summary of here's how many people are falling behind. Here's how many people are falling for the simulated attacks. You can also go here and take a look at the reports. You can change the schedule. You can do a whole bunch of things. You have access to do all that. And this video here Cybersecurity Training Management. We'll kind of walk you through doing it, but absolutely contact us, submit a ticket if you want to have a walkthrough on that. We also have for the end user, and this is part of the Bigger Brains training as well. We also include a one sheet. This will give you an overall idea of what end users and what management can go through. But the bottom line is, to start with, you don't have to do anything except whatever you want to do for your employees who are falling for the simulated attacks. That's the only real action item you've got. And if you figure out a great way to incentivize those people to do it, to get better at it, I'd love to hear it, because this is like universally the biggest challenge. But that's it. Hate to say it. Bigger Brains itself has a couple of cybersecurity courses that are a little more in depth. You can also assign those if you want. But that's pretty much it. So the cybersecurity training, by default, we will deploy the campaign. We will deploy the simulated phishing attacks on a monthly basis in both cases. We can create specific campaigns that are aimed at different subsets of your organization. You need to tell us who, and need to work with us as far as how to differentiate those. Pretty easy, pretty standard. We can tailor. We've got some that are aimed at more, like I say, financially focused groups or subgroups or the like. Whatever you want to do. And this is also when you talk to an insurance company about cyber insurance, you will be able to say, yes, we have cybersecurity training. Yes, we are tracking it. Yes, we are doing simulated attacks. Those are 3 questions that will help you when it comes time to review your cybersecurity policy, which will help you with that as well. So this is that you'll actually save some money by making sure you have this in place. And that, all I got. Is this useful? Any questions? Cool.
What was the website again that you just showed us?
The website for Bigger Brains is brainstationlms.com.
Oh.
Because that's easy to remember.
Okay.
But here's another thing you can do, Doris, is you can actually, in Teams, you can go in. See, I've got Bigger Brains here. And I need to put a video together on this. So let me uninstall this. So I can go into Teams and just say, I want to add Bigger. There's Bigger Brains e-learning. I'm going to add that. And then it'll basically be here for you.
Oh. You're saying I can find it in my Teams? I'm not sure how you.
So here's what I got to do. I got to do a video on that.
Okay.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do is, and hold me to this, Therese. I'm going to put together a video that's a how do I video. I'm going to send that to you.
Okay.
You tell me whether it's a good video or not, and then we'll make it available to everybody else. Does that work?
Okay. Sounds good to me. Yep.
Terrific. And I'm not kidding on this, because one of the big things we want to do is we really do want to come up with a lot more of the how do I videos that can just walk people through, because there's so many people and there's so many questions that are relatively simple. I mean, you run into the same situation where people ask you questions and you know that at like the back of your hand, but they don't.
Sure.
And so the whole idea for Bigger Brains is that we can create these how do I's, and also you guys can create how do I's. So you've got bigger brains. You can create your own videos, add them to bigger brains, and assign them to your employees.
Oh.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, and this was covered a little bit in there in the in last month's webinar,
Mhm.
but happy to do that. So when a new employee starts, if there's certain things that they need to do, and it doesn't have to be a video, it can be a PDF document, it can be a PowerPoint, it can be a whole bunch of things. And you can create tests at the end, questions to make sure that they understood or watched the content. And you can even create a little certificate for them to put on their refrigerator.
Sounds good.
So yeah, we're just started. This is one of the things that we decided to do this year, especially when it comes time to help you folks use our tools better, is by using the tools ourselves. So if you folks get any ideas for how to wise, or if you want to sit down and brainstorm some videos that you could do and how you can add them to bigger brains for your people, we would love to talk to you about that. Just submit a ticket with what you're looking to do, and we'll make sure, because there's so much cool stuff we could be doing here, and we really want to take advantage of it.
Okay.
Cool. Any other questions?
Nope.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody's time, and thanks.
All right.
Catch y'all later.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.